Everyone loves to argue whether gaming is better on consoles or PCs, but let's be honest, it really comes down to personal preference. But if you haven't given PC gaming a chance, you really should. Free from the shackles of brand identity and oversight, the PC as a platform creates an ecosystem defined by freedom first and foremost. It harbors innovation and experimentation, and apart from the associated cost of powerful hardware and the desire for console-exclusive games, there's no reason why you shouldn't invest a little cash and take the plunge into the world of PC gaming. Why exactly? For starters, there are more games available on PC than there ever will be on our traditional console. PCs are backwards compatible with games that are years, if not decades old. Granted, it takes know-how to overcome some operating system incompatibility issues, for which the internet at large is a great resource. But there's nothing stopping you from playing most of the thousands of games released on PCs over the last 30 years or so. You've potentially got a lifetime supply of games at your fingertips. The PC is, at large, an open development platform. Developers have access to a wide selection of tools with which to create the game of their dreams. And there's no governing bodies standing in the way of their vision. Everyone's free to create disturbing, confusing, and profoundly political games if that's what they want. There are some quality control checks in place when a game is considered for distribution on Steam, but it's about stability, not conformity. If they want, developers can also skip the likes of Steam altogether, and publish their game completely independent of a third-party distribution service. Not that they'd want to, but the point is, they can. There's no platform that's more open to technical and artistic experimentation than the PC. And as good as that is for developers, the resulting variety of games to choose from ultimately benefits consumers. Plus, it's easier than ever for the player to double as a developer if they want to get something new out of an existing game. Do you want to play Grand Theft Auto with the powers of Iron Man? No problem. Had enough of Skyrim's dragons? Swap them out with Macho Man Randy Savage and you're all set. User-generated content continues to grow in popularity, and developers are getting better at giving people the tools they need to create add-ons and mods for their games. But the ubiquity of said tools and their potential is greatest on PC. With Valve's Steamworks pipeline, accessing and sharing mods is easier than ever before. Speaking of Valve, its Steam Summer Sale just wrapped up, and everyone who dared to open their eyes and wallet probably ended up buying a few more games than they reasonably need. Why? Because so many great games are cheap to the point that it would be silly not to buy them. Maybe Game X wasn't attractive at $20 because you weren't sold on its premise or gameplay. But when that same game is $5, the risk of investment wanes, and you're more likely to take a chance. The allure of low-risk purchases can lead to a backlog scenario that many PC gamers are all too familiar with, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. To be fair, there are often sales on console games too, but there are barriers to accessing those discounts. Most of the time, you have to belong to a premium subscription service like PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live Gold to get these discounts, but also to play games online. Unless you're talking subscription-based MMOs, you're free to play online multiplayer PC games free of charge in nearly every case. In terms of hardware, consoles are static products. The hardware inside, apart from maybe the hard drive, will never change simply because you want it to. PCs are great because ultimately you're in control of how powerful your machine is. Maxing out a PC can be costly if you need to be on the cutting edge, but it's not an all-or-nothing game. You can upgrade your PC piece by piece, and since the price-performance ratio scales with time, you won't have to drop a huge sum of money in one fell swoop to keep up with the capabilities of consoles. Massive gaming laptops still exist, but with the likes of Razer's Blade and Blade Pro, we're beginning to see a shift, and it's possible to carry a device that's more powerful than a console with its own screen in your backpack. Now, I still love console gaming as it exists today, but I appreciate it for very different reasons than I do PC gaming. For now, there are reasons to argue for both sides of the PC versus console debate. But if you've shied away from PCs in the past because they're not immediately user-friendly, consider giving PC gaming a chance for the sheer variety of games to choose from and the openness of the hardware. And you may find yourself pleasantly surprised by everything that the platform has to offer.